show you guys how to clean up tracks using Garmin Basecamp before importing them into SARTopo. Sometimes doing it this way can be a lot more forgiving or efficient or detail-oriented than it can to try and do it in just SARTopo alone. So if you open up Basecamp and you've already plugged in your computer, you should see that you have a library section here, which is your actual computer's files that are part of Basecamp, and then down here under devices are where all of your different units that are plugged into your computer are located. And so since I just got back from taking my dogs for a little hike and I wanted to use that as a demonstration, I purposefully left my GPS tracking both the unit and the dog collar all the way back home. I want to show you guys how to get rid of the extra stuff that is the traveling track and only have the hike track, and we'll just pretend that that's a search track for this purpose. And so I've clicked on the internal storage of my Garmin Alpha, and I'm going to look for the demo hike and the demo hike for the dog and the human both, I'm sorry. And so if we look here, I marked the truck as our base location. Here are some geocache waypoints that we were trying to look for. And then, as you can see, all of this stuff is extra travel from my car. And so to clean that up, I'm just going to start with the human track. I'm going to double click on it. And then I'm going to make my windows so you guys can see split, so that way you guys can follow along nicely. I'm going to bring this over a little bit. And if you look, if I click anywhere on here, you can see the point on this part of the screen. You also can see the time, date, all that stuff when this was recorded. You can see whatever position that each individual track mark is. And we can just use the up arrow or the down arrow to quickly go through this. And so since I don't care about the beginning tracks, I'm not going to start at the beginning of this menu. Instead, I'm going to go to the very end, and I'm going to click at the end, and I'm going to just start going up until I get back on screen, which you can see right there. So pretty much everything that is after the truck is extra information that I don't really need to know. So I'm just going to go back. Right now I'm returning to the truck. So now I have everything that is a part of my hike. Everything that comes before this. Like as I go this way, I'm back in the hike, or the search, if you will. And so I can just scroll all the way down, hold down the shift button, and then left click. And now I've selected everything that's extra. And I can just delete it. In fact, if you really wanted to, you could take this all the way out and say your search sector started up here. You could then delete all of this travel information too. Say the dog's on leash and you're not searching at the moment. You could delete anything that is not search data. But maybe your dog is working off leash, and even though you're returning to base, your dog still may be actively searching. So maybe you do want to keep that. That's all going to be personal preference. But I've finished this now, and so I can close this, which in this little menu you can also close the track color, or change the track color, change the track name, get a graph, different plot, elevation versus speed. You get little stats up here. So for the human, I only walked 1.5 miles and all that junk. Quickly change the dog. I'll show you guys how quickly you can do this now. I just go down to the very bottom, zoom out a bit, and I start to scroll up. You can tell there's a lot more information here than there was on the other one. All the way back to the truck. I'll zoom in near the truck now for you guys to be able to see. A lot of extra stuff, so we go all the way down to the truck, and then everything after that point is garbage. And delete. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to make another video now how to transfer this into SARTopo. This function of how to do this is really nice for when people forget to clear their tracks and they have, lines going all over the map. Maybe there's a line from where your search started all the way back to wherever the GPS was last turned on at, or maybe it happens the opposite way and the lines are formed at the end of it. You can also clear up if somebody comes back to base, gets a new search assignment, and goes out to another search sector, but they have to drive down the road. You can clean up the road travel stuff, but you really need to know where they searched and everything like that to do that appropriately and successfully. All right, that's it for this.